We always hear that probate produces problems. But what is probate, and why do we want to prevent it? Here to probe the predicaments that pop up with probate is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
So let's start with some preliminaries. What is probate?
Well, that's just the process of transferring property when someone passes away. For example, let's say your will says, on my death, everything goes to my spouse. My house goes to the spouse. How do we retitle that house from the decedent to the surviving spouse? That's the probate process.
Okay. How does that relate to taxes?
Well, you know, anyone can avoid probate, but you can't, you know, probate has nothing to do with taxes. Bill Gates can avoid probate. He can't avoid taxes.
Probably will,
yes,
too.
That's right.
So how do we try to avoid probate?
Well, you know, you try to avoid probate by using various tools. The problem with probate is it involves a lot of time and money. Probate takes a while. So, for example, one way to avoid probate is with the use of a trust. And we could talk about that on other shows, and we have talked about it on other shows, but that's not the only way to avoid probate.
Okay. And the reason to avoid probate is to avoid the whole court process, which is time, money, effort, all those kinds of
things.
Right.
It takes a lot of time. It's not, again, it's not a tax system. It's the time involved. It takes around a year to avoid to go through the probate process if everything moves smoothly. And then the cost, it's not the filing fees. It's usually the attorney. You have to most people hire an attorney to handle the probate, and the attorney is usually charged by the hour, though some counties will give a suggested fee based on the size of the probate estate, but that's usually the major driver. Now, you can do it yourself, but most people don't. They hire an attorney. Yeah,
it would get confusing, I suppose. So you talked about trust being a possibility, so are there other ways?
Sure. Now, if a trust, most people don't need a trust unless they have a complicated situation. You can avoid probate if it's a simple estate with a lot of other tools. For example, most assets can avoid probate by naming beneficiaries like IRAs and life insurance, annuities, bank accounts, stock certificates. You can avoid probate using a tool like that. And they're called either joint and survivor payable on death accounts for bank accounts and stock certificates, or transfer on death designations also.
Okay, so for the house in particular, joint and survivorship is the best?
Well, yeah, for a house, typically between a husband and wife, they'll hold the house in joint and survivor ownership. Husband dies, goes to the wife without going through probate. I don't recommend that for a single person. A single person, if they want to go to their child, let's say, or a nephew or niece, Ohio has something called a transfer on death affidavit. They name a beneficiary of the house, and it avoids probate by naming the beneficiary of the house.
Okay, so lots of different ways.
Yes.
Need some guidance in that, though, right? You should look at your estate planning documents, whether you have a will or a trust. If you only have a will, review your assets and see if some of these techniques we talked about are ways for you to avoid probate and reduce your costs. Need help? Give Mike a call. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization, or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, home repairs can be costly, so how do you pick a fair price? We'll nail down the answer. Plus, we're talking tribe. We'll look at the lives of Cleveland Indians legends. And when do you need a trust? You can trust us to tell you. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV, or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.